Hi guys. Okay, let me fix this a little bit first here. Okay, hello everybody. I am so sorry I'm a little bit late today. I've had a lot going on this side. Okay, the energy, the spirit, the all of it today, my nerves. Okay, so where do I even begin? Before I start taking calls today, I would actually really like to talk about a couple things for a minute. After last week, some things came to my attention that I just kind of want to address and put out there. And I guess I've noticed this week it wasn't just me, that there was a lot of people kind of going through the same kind of see, I'm already talking about it, the same kind of emotions. It's funny how things kind of similarity happen to groups of people all at the same time. But yes, I'm talking about betrayal. It's a really tough thing to deal with in our life. Probably one of the toughest things I have to admit for a medium is dealing with betrayal, because I walk around all day and I'm able to hear information about other people's lives, and I can feel when people are lying to me most times, except when it's somebody that is extremely close to me. That's where things get all skewered. So in my world, I have to be even extra careful who I allow into my world, because the wrong people, and I'm just like everybody else. I have no idea when betrayal is happening. And so here's one of the hard things about doing what I'm doing here and putting free readings out and, exposing myself on the internet like this for everybody. There is people in my past who have hurt me very badly. And I have slowly but surely gotten better at being able to take these people out of my life. And now that these videos are going viral and they're starting to see my face flash up, I found out last week that somebody who betrayed me probably in one of the worst ways anybody could have ever betrayed me. She was my best friend of 25 years. We had to stop talking a few years back, and I got a phone call. Not actually, sorry, that's a lie. I got a message saying that she was watching and she had tried to call in. This is where I'm just gonna tell all of you the same advice that I would give myself in this situation. You can love somebody, but that doesn't mean that you have to allow them in your life. Because sometimes allowing people in our lives just hurts us and doesn't help us in any way, shape, or form. I love this girl from the bottom of my heart to the tips of my toes, and I probably always will. And it is completely undeserved. Trust me, it is. However, there's a soul connection there. So anyway, part of two reasons for this long explanation here. One is I just want to share with you guys how I dealt with that, and how I I recommend, I'm offering up a suggestion that has worked for me, and it came at very good advice from a very good friend of mine, Cheryl Hines. She's one of my psychic friends. And I didn't want to hear it, and I almost wanted to hang the phone up at her at the time, but you know what she said was, Tracy, you send them hearts in your mind, you pray for them. You send them hearts of whatever it is that you wish for yourself. So if you wish for yourself love, you send them hearts of love. If you wish forgiveness, you send them forgiveness. Don't send them what you think that they deserve, because hate only brings more hate. So especially in a situation where you're dealing with somebody who's trying to betray you or trying to hurt you, send them as much love as you possibly can, because love defeats hate. It's the only thing that defeats hate. So anyway, that being said, I just wanted to explain this a little bit so that you guys know exactly why I'm doing this, why I come on here every week and I give these free readings. Because you know what? This hasn't been extremely easy for me, but it's kind of like my coming out of the closet, so to speak. Those who are very close to me have known that I'm a little bit different all of my life, but not a lot of other people have known, and I have gone to great lengths to hide it in my life. But through opening up and doing this work, I've learned and I've seen that it's not about me. It's about the message for each person, and it's time to stop hiding. It's time to tell the world who I am. And if you think I'm a fraud, that's fine. Move along. Don't stop here, because my intention is not to fraud anyone. That's why these readings are absolutely free. The thing is, I do book private readings. However, I'm a single mom of 4 kids, and I am not living the high life, people, let me tell you. I'm just beginning in this field. So my intention is never to just take people's money. And in fact, I actually have a completely 100% satisfaction guarantee, because if I am unable to connect with somebody's loved ones, I will never take their money. That's fact. And I stand by that to this day. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, and I think I'm going to start jumping into some free readings for now, but I just needed you guys to know that those things. I thought it was important to talk about. A lot of people that I talked to recently have been dealing with issues of betrayal, myself included, on many different levels, not just that girl, and as well to let you know that I will not be able to answer any private callers. The reason why I can't answer any private callers is because I don't know who's on the other end of that line. And if somebody wants to phone in for a reading, I just ask that it's genuine and that the people from my past can just respect that there is people here who really need this message, and they don't need to deal with your drama. This isn't the time or the place. Please give me a call at a completely more appropriate time. Okay, so that being said, just missed that lady, or gentleman, whoever that was, but I'm going to jump right in there. I'm going to turn my ringer back on, or not. Here we go. Hold on a sec. Hello? Oops.
Hi, I'm calling about your free reading.
Hi, what is your first name?
Carly.
It's Carly?
Yeah.
Okay, Carly, you're the first reading of the day after I just gave that whole blah speech. So bear with me here while I just take a couple deep breaths and try to refocus. And as much for you as it is for me, can I get you to do a little grounding exercise for me?
Sure.
Okay. Can you sit somewhere where your feet are flat on the ground? And then I would like you to take a deep breath, but I would like you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, pulling it all the way through your body, and then blowing it straight at me. Then just give me a minute and I'm going to focus. Okay. Give me a second to sort through this, hon. I'm not sure what that means. So, I feel like there's 2 people that are competing for my attention at this moment in time. It's like, I'm going first. No, I'm going first. No, I'm going first. So just give me 1 second to decipher between these 2 energies.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to start with the lady who comes through very motherly. She comes through very much fussing over you, touching your hair and stroking you and just being very affectionate towards you. I'm not even sure who she is yet. Hold on a second. She just is coming forward, very comforting. I'm not even sure who she is yet, but she's you just got, Tracy, just let her know she's not alone right now. Let her know that she's got so many people that are supporting her on this side and that love her from this side. Have you been feeling you're kind of alone right now?
I'm actually not sure who the lady would be.
We'll get to her in a second. Let me just validate what she's saying first. Have you been feeling like there's something going on right now that is like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know how to explain this. She's coming through with lots of comfort, like you need extra support and you need to know you're not alone and you need to know that you have help on that side. Do those messages make sense to you?
Yeah, that does.
Okay, so hold on. So we're not wrong with the messages. I'm not sure who she is yet either. Usually I ask them to tell me how they passed away, et cetera, to validate who they are, but she just gets right into comforting you.
Okay.
Okay. She's letting me know that she wanted to come through first because she wanted to bring through the gentleman, and she needed you to know that she greeted his soul on when he got to that side, that he was never alone. So I feel like she could be even a couple of generations above you, and maybe that's why she's coming through so affectionately, is maybe you've never met her, is kind of the feeling that I'm getting. It's almost like 1 or 2 generations above you. So, okay, slow down. Because she's bringing forward the gentleman who's, okay, slow down. He snaps his fingers, so that's my symbol for passing was sudden or unexpected. He's doing the wiggle, which is my symbol for somebody who had limited mobility before they passed away, or there was, but he just makes me feel like right towards the end there's something with the legs. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
And he's singing happy birthday. I don't know how that relates, but okay. So, hold on a sec. Who is the gentleman that passed quickly or unexpectedly that you really need to know has peace on the other side? That possibly had the issue with mobility or something to do with the legs before they passed away. Who is that to you?
My grandfather passed away in August. It was somewhat unexpected. We knew he was going to pass, but it was brought on kind of suddenly.
Exactly.
And in the last few months of his life, he had blood clots in his legs really bad.
There we go. That's exactly who's stepping forward. How is he connecting with happy birthday? I feel like he got to spend his birthday on that side. Does that make sense? Has he had a birthday since he passed? Because he's talking about celebrating a birthday on that side. That he didn't miss the birthday. He's still celebrating. I don't know if this is his birthday or if this was somebody's birthday after he passed that he really wants to acknowledge. And the way he puts it is like, look, I made it this time. Like, I can travel now. I can go wherever I want now.
I'm wondering if that would be, I have an uncle that passed away when he was 20, 30. I never met him, but my grandparents struggled with that a lot. So my grandmother kind of had peace in the fact that my grandfather was up there with my uncle.
I see.
So I'm wondering if maybe because after he passed away, a few days later was the anniversary of my uncle's death.
There we go. That's exactly it. Because he's taking me. So sometimes I can misinterpret birthday or anniversary or big celebration event. They all feel kind of the same to me. But his point is that after his death, there was some kind of big celebration his soul attended and was extremely excited to attend on that side. Isn't this interesting? And I think the lady who came forward would be like his mother. Because she's not even telling me how she passed away. She's like, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't even feel like you met her. I feel like she's stepping forward to let you guys all know that her soul was there to greet everybody when they got there. Hold on a second.
Okay, that makes sense because my grandfather always talked about when he goes to heaven. He talked about it since he was a young man. When he goes to heaven, he wanted to... he was hoping that it would be just like his childhood with his mom and his dad.
Aww, that's why she came through first. And even though you've never met her, she loves you. Oh my gosh, she's doing the grandma gush, what I call grandma gush, where they just dote on you and like, oh my god, I love you, oh my god, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she just keeps going with that message that you are not alone right now. Okay, so hold on a second. Slow it down, slow it down. Well, I don't know if they're saying this was something that already happened or somebody's thinking about suicide. Who was thinking about ending their own life? He's calling them out right now.
I don't know.
Hold on a second. He's taking me to the mail. And I feel like this could possibly even be a brother, or it's definitely somebody underneath him. So if this wasn't your brother, this could have been his brother or your, somebody underneath your grandfather, that he's talking about suicide. Then he's showing me substance abuse. And he turns this person around and kicks them in the ass. Excuse my language, but that's kind of how he puts it. So I know this person's still alive because they don't usually kick the dead people in the butt. It's almost like there's somebody here in the physical world that is struggling with some substance abuse, whether it be alcohol or drugs. I don't feel even like it's so much drugs. I feel like it's more alcohol. And it's almost like there's a habit forming here, is how I'm hearing this. There's a habit forming here. Do you have a brother?
I don't have a brother.
Okay, it's the brother, the brother, the brother, the brother. That's all I keep hearing is the brother, the brother.
Brother. I don't know who that would be because all of my grandfather's brothers are very old.
No, it feels underneath your grandfather. Like, okay, so let me try to understand this. So you said that your grandfather's son was on the other side, your father's brother?
Yes.
Did he pass from something to do with alcohol or suicide or a possible taking his own life?
No.
Okay, then I don't know how to relate this. Slow down. Because I definitely feel like he's calling somebody out right now. But it's a male in the family.
Now, my father struggles, I'm not sure, with substance abuse.
All right. Okay, that makes perfect sense to me now. And the reason why I'm hearing it is the brother, the brother, the brother, because this would be his brother stepping forward to speak to him. And that's how he's chosen to do it, is to step forward and say, I'm the brother and I want to talk about my brother's substance abuse. And I was pretty sure this person was still alive because Spirit doesn't usually turn someone around and kick them in the butt unless they are still alive. But then he's showing me that his spirit was there. I feel like your dad's been fighting this, though. Slow down. He's like fighting it on and off. It's almost like he fights it and then I get weak and I relapse but he doesn't just relapse for a week. It's like months or a couple of years and then I get back up on the horse again. Does this make sense? He's talking about
that makes sense.
A pattern that's repeated. And he just, please let your dad know that his brother is letting him know that he's like with him absolutely the entire time, that he's not alone, and that his brother is trying to bring him peace on the other side and guide him to the resources that are going to help him a lot. And as I'm saying this, he's showing me that some things go off in Dad's life. And then the brother is like, you have to understand that some things get bad so that other things can get better. And that not every challenge that comes into your life is meant to hurt you. Most of them are meant to help you grow. Slow down. He looks at you and he shows me my symbol for thank you. And then he's showing me my symbol for forgiveness. Did you forgive your dad for some of this? Have you made peace with your dad somewhat about this?
Yeah, I have. You know what, though? My sister, on the other hand, has not.
Right. Because your uncle is stepping forward. That's interesting that you say that, because your uncle is stepping forward, showing me my symbol for thank you, my symbol for forgiveness. He wants you to know how important it is for your dad's healing and for everybody in the family to heal is to find forgiveness. And he shows you that, or what I just heard was every family needs a hero. And thank you for being this family's hero, because you're providing an example for others to live up to. Just the very fact that you've found this peace and this healing gives you a much lighter feeling in your life. And hopefully that example will help your sister to be able to come to this in her own time. But your uncle just says, just don't push her. Just let her do this at her own pace. He's like, you can't force somebody into forgiveness.
Okay.
I just saw two things, a mixture of how exactly proud he is of you right now, and I don't know what this means. He shows me the ring going on and the ring coming off, and then I feel like it goes on and it stays on. And so usually the ring is my symbol for a relationship that has either been on and off, or that he's talking about the ending. I think this is more likely what he's talking about, the ending of a not so good relationship that was really difficult, and the possibilities of moving into another relationship or being in another relationship that is so much more healthier. Does that make sense to you?
Now, is that like for me?
Yes.
I'm not sure on that one.
Okay, hold on. Slow down. He's still showing me the same symbols, so maybe I'm misinterpreting. Does that make sense for somebody else in your life, but not for you? Because he's still showing me the same things, the on and off with the ring, which is like a bad relationship, or not bad relationship, but on and off again, or the ending of a relationship and the beginning of a new relationship. He's not wavering on that. So if it's not...
Now, there's a few things that, like, for me, it doesn't really apply. I'm wondering if it applies to my dad. He's been in an on and off relationship for like 10 years now, super toxic.
There we go.
And he just recently kind of put some distance between himself and his relationship.
I see.
Also, what comes to mind when you say that is my grandmother's actually, she wears my grandfather's wedding ring, and when she's sitting down, she'll play with it and take it on and off and on and off.
That's so funny. And you know, as you say that, your grandfather steps forward. Sometimes I just feel so much love from the dead to the living. Not always. Some married couples are like, it's happy that one's on that side and one's on this side, let me tell you. But in this case, he just comes through with so much love. And he's like talking about, isn't his wife the most beautiful woman in the world? Like, isn't she the most beautiful woman ever? Like, he just keeps talking about how he had the most beautiful woman in the entire world. And to remind her that he still sees her that way.
Those were actually his last words.
Aww.
When he started getting sick, the last words that he was able to say was that my grandmother was so beautiful.
So this is his soul validating that he is at peace on the other side, and he is absolutely still watching over her here in the physical world. Hold on. He's like teasing her a little bit about, you ain't no spring chicken there, dear. Slow down. Like, I feel like she has all this drive and wants to like get up and run around and go do everything. And he's like telling her to just slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what? He's, again, showing me my symbol for thank you. I feel the both of them and the grandmother or I guess this would be like the great-grandmother above him as well, because all three of them are here. And it's interesting that most of the messages they passed forward today were for the rest of your family. And hold on, I'm trying to think and they're talking in my ear. It's like, you know what? The rest of the family needed that healing. And so they're extremely thankful that you were able to call in today to be able to get that message that they are at peace and all together on the other side. More importantly, whatever this is that you're going through, because I keep going back to ask and say, okay, like, your great grandmother started out by like giving you all this comfort and talking about that you're not alone in this situation that's going on, but she hasn't elaborated on that, and they're starting to pull their energy back. And when I asked why not, she said that's just the message that you need, that it's almost like she's not going to out you on air. She's not going to play, especially because she wants the rest of your family to hear this video or to see these messages. So it's like she's not going to bring all that up here out in the open, but she wants to acknowledge that she knows that what you're going through right now, and she wants to acknowledge that you have their support on the other side. So please don't be afraid to ask them when you need help.
Now, I'm wondering, I'm actually going through fertility problems. I'm wondering if that could be part of it.
Oh, when you say that, I just got a tingle. So hold on a second. I've never felt that before. Why do I feel like we're trying to regrow something? Like we're trying to stimulate something to regrow or multiply. You have to forgive me. I had 4 babies naturally. Most were unexpected. So I haven't really dealt with this issue, but so I'm not exactly sure what he means by regrowing or give it time to like regrow. I don't know what that means. Give it time to grow. Hold on a second. Isn't that interesting? I just flat out asked her because she's going kind of around the subject, and I just said, look, let the lady know, give her some peace. Is she going to become a mother or not? And she just looked at me and she said, Tracy, sometimes you have to be careful what you ask for, because it's almost like, and you hear stories about how people go through these fertility treatments and you get 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 babies. And I think there's a very strong possibility of twins or triplets in this case. And if they're not twins or triplets, then it's like one right after the other. But there is something about being patient and allowing things to like cultivate or grow.
Okay.
Slow down, hold on. She's got one more word of caution. She's telling you not to get so devastated. It's almost like if there's been a couple of attempts so far, and then every time that it's like I see the pregnancy stick saying negative, and then I just want to die. And she's like talking about that. Don't get yourself involved in that negative feeling, because what you attract, what you feel, you attract to you. And so she's trying to let you know, slow down, that this will happen, but you have to be calm about when it's going to happen. You have to allow God to allow or to pick the time. You have to allow these children to pick the time, because they are coming. And I'm most definitely seeing 3. And as she pulls her energy back, she's like, good things come to those who wait. You've waited long enough. It's not much longer, but you have to get yourself calm and centered so that this can work. You do that, and she just said within like 2 or 3 months, if you do that, we're good to go.
Okay.
I hope that helps. And actually, as she's like totally pulling her energy back, she's like, that's what I'm trying to say. Let her know that we're helping on this side. We've got the souls ready to go. We're interacting with them on this side. You know, we've gotten to know our grandbabies that are coming to this world, but you have to relax yourself to a state that they can come. And she's pulling her energy back. I hope that was helpful.
That was so helpful. Thank you so much.
All right. You take care.
You too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oops. I tried to answer the call, but it just hung up on me. Interesting. See? There goes that stupid word again. Tammy, I know you're watching, and I know you're counting. I have this thing where I say that word all the time. It drives me crazy. Anyway, next caller. Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Were you calling for the free readings?
Yes.
Okay, what is your first name?
Shauna.
Shauna? Okay, so give me just a second here, Shauna. Holy, you
Okay.
bring forward a lot of energy very quickly. Okay, so right away, as soon as you said your name, I heard like this big loud screech, bang, like this big loud noise. Who is the person that passed in the accident?
What, sorry?
The person that passed in the accident.
I recently had a friend who was very close to me who just passed. He wasn't in it, well, I don't know if it was an accident, but they said he died in his sleep.
Okay, hold on a second. Slow down, slow down, slow down. I keep hearing screeching tires though. Like I'm not even seeing a person yet. I just keep hearing like these screeching tires and like halt. Oh, I know why. Okay. Because Spirit talks symbolically, right? So I'm like, what does this mean? Like I keep hearing the screech slam. And it's, okay, so I know what, so this is a male?
Yes.
Okay. I know what he's trying to say. Hold on, he's still talking to me. Like I said, he stepped forward with so much energy, it's not even funny. Gotta try to calm him down a bit. So, I think the reason why he's showing it to me this way is kind of like somebody who was just on a really good path in life, somebody that was like full steam ahead, you know what I mean? We're trucking along in life, and then it's like the brakes get thrown on, and all of a sudden, bam, it's over. Does that make sense? Was he just starting stuff in his life? Like, I feel like things were just beginning in his life.
Yeah, he was trying to get his daughter back, and things were starting to look good, and he was getting his life straightened out.
There you go.
And then suddenly he passed.
And that's what he's like, Tracy, he's like, I can't believe how I left this world, that I didn't have a chance to say goodbye. I didn't have, slow down. He's like, I didn't have time to prepare for any of this. It's like that's exactly how I see it myself in a speeding car. Like, yes, I have all this freedom because now things are going my way. I'm going to be able to make this work. And here we go. And then like somebody pulled the rug out from underneath me. And he's making me feel like that's how everybody around him is feeling. And he's like so sorry for this. But he's taking some responsibility for his passing, I have to tell you. Hold on a second. He just restricted my breathing. Slow down. And he's showing me like tons and tons of fitness. Was he like trying to was he working out a lot, or what is with the fitness?
Not sure about the fitness, but he's, like I said, he suddenly passed in his sleep. So they said that it was either a stroke or something like that. Yeah.
Because that would be the breathing, why I just can't breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Slow down. What I'm trying to figure out is where this sense of responsibility comes from with him. And when I ask him that again, he's just talking to me about, years of not taking care of himself. It's almost like, and he's showing me my symbol for change, that it's like within a year or two before he passed away, he made some big changes in his life. But was there some substance abuse or some stuff beforehand? Okay, yeah. This is why he's taking some responsibility for how he passed away. But while he does that, he's like, Tracy, I need to make it clear. I wasn't high at the time. Like, I wasn't using at the time. Does that make sense to you? I'm
not sure because I wasn't there. But yeah, for like, it's only been 3 weeks since he passed, and like the first week I thought I was dying of a broken heart. I just couldn't stop crying and stuff.
Aw, so this is why he's taking some responsibility and apologizing, I feel like, outright apologizing for, like, pulling the rug out from everyone's, life. Like, hold on a second. He's like, okay, go ahead. And I'm like, what do you mean, go ahead? He's like, you tell her, go ahead. I'm ready for it. And I'm like, ready for what? And he's like, yeah, I told you so. They're coming. Trust me. Yeah. They're coming.
Yeah, because I always would say to him, I'd just be straight up with him and tell him all the time, and that's why he would look at me and say, oh, Shauna Burke, blah, 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 blah. And his celebration of life was last weekend, so, yeah, it was quite, it's a lot.
Aww. Was there a band there or something? Did somebody play live music?
Yeah, they did.
Because this is his soul's way of validating that he was present for the memorial. And he's just like, rock on, man, rock on. Like, this is awesome. Like, I feel like he was very moved by the ceremony, and he just really needed to take this opportunity to step forward and let you know that his soul is absolutely at peace and with God on the other side. And to thank everybody for everything that they've done. He's absolutely, hold on a second, he's referencing a child. Slow down. I keep seeing the number 13. I don't know. I'm not sure. Hold on a second. I'm not sure how this relates. Hold on. Because the child feels younger than that. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
Okay, because I keep seeing the number 13, but when I feel for the child's energy, she definitely doesn't feel no 13. So, hold on a second.
Well, he has a daughter that's older, that's probably about 13, but he also was at the celebration at his funeral, is younger.
I see. Okay, that makes perfect sense then. So this is his way of validating both children, and to please let them know that his soul will still be with them for the rest of their lives, that he will never leave them. He's pulling his energy back. He just wanted to step forward and let you know that he is absolutely at peace on the other side. Oh, hold on. I thought he was pulling it totally back. He's like, wait, a couple more things. He's like, you'll get used to that with me. I'm always forgetting something. So, he's like, shows me my symbol for thank you, and he shows me a letter.
A letter?
A letter. Somebody has written something to him. But it feels almost like it was angry. It's almost like somebody wrote something that was like, how could you do this? And, I don't understand. And do you know what I mean? Like all of this. And he's wanting to validate that his soul was with this person while they were writing this letter.
Everybody wrote on like a big picture board kind of when he was, after he passed. And I had wrote on it, and many other people did. Maybe his ex-girlfriend, I'm not sure. But about, 5 days ago, I was yelling to my daughter, and I thought she was coming up the stairs, and then I yelled at her again, and I thought she was going down the stairs. But then I seen a man in the hallway with the lights were out, and then she came to my room, and she was like, what, Mom? And I'm like, well, didn't you just go downstairs? And she's like, no. And only because I had been crying for like forever, and I couldn't stop crying because I swear I thought I was like dying of a broken heart.
Aww. And so he took that opportunity to let you know in the only way he possibly could that his soul was still with you, that he was there with you in that moment. And please know as you go forward that he may not still have a body the same way that we do. He might not be able to use words the same way that we can. However, this young man has stepped forward so strongly. Like I said, he came bursting through the gates, like immediately. And he's letting you know that he will always be around, and he will always send signals and signs whenever you need them. That it's almost like he feels it's his responsibility now now to look after all the people that tried to look after him. And then, did you not see him for a while before he passed away? Because he looked at you and he's like, can you tell her she looks fabulous, by the way? She just looks absolutely fabulous.
Did I have a what? Sorry.
Pardon me?
What did you say? Sorry. Did I have a what?
I said, had it been a while since you've seen him, or had it been a little bit since you've seen him? Because he keeps talking about how fabulous you look, like he hadn't seen you in a while.
Oh. I hadn't seen him for about 10 years, but every time he's seen me, doesn't matter, we've been friends for almost 40 years, but he always tells me that I'm beautiful, and Shauna Burke, you're beautiful. That's what he called me all the time, Shauna Burke, my Shauna Burke, I love you. You know, he always told me that I'm beautiful. Nobody can compare.
Well, that's how he wants to end this reading. He wants to leave those as his final words, and he wants you he wants that to be the way that you remember him and the way that you think of him.
I do.
Oh, I hope that was helpful, hon.
It's amazing. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Whew. Okay. That young man certainly had a lot of energy. And see, that just goes to prove, Spirit might only be on the side for 1 day or 3 weeks or 3 years. It just you never know when they'll come through. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, were you calling for the free readings?
Yes, I am.
Okay, what is your first name?
My first name is Mike.
Okay, Mike, give me just a second here. It's funny, I was doing my makeup in the mirror this morning, and I heard that there was a man that was calling in today. They were telling me ahead of time. So your loved ones have been with me for a few hours now. Hold on just a second.
I'm not surprised. No problem.
Let me just sort through this here. Oh, goodness. So they're asking if they all can get a chance or if we're just going to take one at a time here. So you have quite a few people on the other side. Give me just a second.
Not surprised. Sure.
Well, there is definitely a gentleman that comes through. Well, who's the father figure for you that's on the other side? Because he steps forward with his hand on your shoulder, which is my symbol for protection and pride.
Okay, I'm thinking noble father, perhaps grandfather, maybe.
Okay, I'm going to get him to validate how he passed away here.
Okay, certainly.
He's like, oh, do we really want to get into that? It wasn't pleasant, Tracy. I feel like he's a funny guy. I feel like he's like cracking jokes about things that maybe were a little serious, and he's like totally cracking jokes about them. He's like talking about that everything just stopped working at the end. It's like he's not being extremely specific about what his life, other than making me feel like just one thing after another. It was like one issue after another, but that he just kept plugging along. Does that make sense?
I think so, yes.
Okay. Hold on a sec. Well, he just reached down, he shook your hand, and is there somebody in the room with you?
Yes, there is.
Okay, and it's a female?
Yes, it is.
Okay, because he shook your hand and he reached down and he kissed her cheek, and he's like, darling, is this possibly your wife?
Yes, it would be my wife, yes.
Okay, because did he not know her or something? Because he's like, welcome to the family. And he's like, you did so good, my boy. He's like, chip off the old block. Look at who he gets to marry.
He'd be right. He would be right.
He's offering a lot of congratulations. I feel like, hold on a second. Slow down. He's talking about you making something in this world. He's talking about you becoming somebody that you're proud of, and that his soul has been watching you on the other side and with you every step of the way, and how excited he is for what's to come next in your world. Does that make sense to you?
I think so.
Hold on a sec. So he showed me two things very quickly. So I'm not sure how these two relate to each other. One, he showed me the house. So usually when they show me the symbol for the house, that's somebody who is either moving, thinking of moving, renovating, something along those lines. Although something about this symbol feels a little different than it normally does. And then I feel like he takes me to Grandma, although he shows me hand in hand. So is Grandma also on the other side now?
Grandma's also passed as well, yes.
Okay, but did he pass before she did?
Yes, he did.
Okay, this is why he's showing it to me this way. And did you guys sell the house or do something with the house after she passed away?
Not really. She was living in a nursing facility when she passed, so not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay, so I'm not sure how the house relates. Hold on, I gotta slow him down. He's still showing it to me like I should just figure this out. So hold on one sec.
Sure.
You know, they're like swing dancing over there. These two. That's what he shows me. His energy is like, he's like, you know what? We got the energy of 20-year-olds again. He's like, and he's talking about Grandma's mobility again. So she definitely had mobility issues before she passed away.
Yes, she did.
Because he's showing me like, look, she is like the world's best dancer. Like, I missed this with her. I missed being able to move around with her. So it's almost like she had mobility issues for many, many years. Would that make sense?
Yes, that would make sense, yes.
Okay.
She was actually bedridden for pretty much the last year or two before her passing.
I see. So please know that Grandma's soul is at peace on the other side and that she no longer is suffering from the physical ailments that she was when she was here in the physical world.
Wonderful.
She's showing whispering of the ear, which is my symbol for hearing everything that people have said to her after she's passed away. So, and she's also showing me my symbol for, did you not get a chance to say goodbye or you didn't quite make it up? I'm not sure if she's talking that you didn't make it up before she passed or you didn't make it up for the funeral, but she's talking about wanting to acknowledge that you feel this way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, she would be right on both counts, yes. Yes, wasn't able to make the funeral and I wasn't able to get there, so there was a distance between us, the provinces, so.
She turned to me and she's like, Tracy, could you tell him to stop beating himself up for this, please? He had very good reasons why he couldn't attend. And she's like, I would have been mad at him if he had showed up there. And she's like, making me feel like you went to all these lengths to try to see if you could accommodate this, but it just wasn't possible. And I feel like this is like something that you like hold against yourself to this day. Then she's talking about...
Yeah.
Sorry, they go fast.
That's okay.
Then she's talking about acknowledging all of the things that you said after she passed, and she's like, you know what, you didn't miss anything because I still heard everything that you said to me after I passed. I still hear, she's like, she says hear, not heard. She corrected me. So you still communicate with her sometimes, whether it be in your head or out loud. You still talk to your grandma?
Yes, I do.
She wants to validate that for you, that she absolutely hears you and her soul is still with you at that exact moment. Slow down. She gets very excited about a baby. Hold on. Or do you have a baby on the way, or how does this relate? Because she's very excited about this baby.
Well, my daughter, she's in Calgary. They just recently had a baby boy.
There we go.
Her husband had a baby boy. And my son's also had a couple daughters in the last year or two. 2 years, actually, yes. So there's been lots of babies.
She's validating that she's aware of this, and she's showing me 2 and 2. It's almost like, sorry, you said this was your son and your daughter? It's almost like your son has 2 girls and your daughter has 2 boys, or your son, like something like this. It's like, so is this her second boy?
That's my daughter, that'd be her first boy, and originally she had a daughter, and my son has the 2 biological daughters.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
Well, your grandmother just said, please tell her that her next labor will be so much easier. I promise. It will be easier.
Okay.
She's like, Tracy, it's just not fair. Some girls just have such easy labors. I know, it sucks. It's not fair to those of us that had really crappy ones, but your daughter is one of the lucky ones. So I don't know if her first one went so easy, but she's like talking about how this next one is just going to be so easy.
Well, because my daughter's had it pretty easy with labor with the last two, so if there's another one, I can't imagine how much quicker that one would go than the one she's had.
Well,
It's been very fast, both
funny.
her labors.
It's funny because last week, actually, there was somebody that had called in that I had spoken to, I don't know, a couple of months ago, I guess. And one of the things Spirit told her was to be prepared because this baby was going to be here fast. And she called in afterwards. Oh, you heard that?
That was actually I think that actually was my daughter.
Oh, are you kidding me? That's so funny. Okay, yeah. So the next one is going to be even faster. So be prepared.
Okay. Sounds good.
Oh, they're definitely pulling their energy back, but definitely congratulating you and your wife on something. As they're doing this, they're just like, congratulations. Oh, I feel like for becoming grandparents, for becoming the people that you are, okay, so they're not quite done. Sometimes I think they are and they're not. So give me a second here.
Sure.
It's your grandfather that steps forward again, and he gets a little bit serious, and he says, you need to know just how proud of the man that I am that you became, or proud of the man that you are that I am. He's like, hold on. I feel like there was a time when people were a little bit worried about you, like almost like you went through something pretty traumatic, or there was, just some really trying times back when, and it's almost like people were on the fence of where you were going to go with this. It feels like it came more from pain than it did from like being a rebel. But he's talking about how you picked yourself up and you carried on and you've become a truly incredible man. And he wants to validate that for you on the other side, that he acknowledges that. And he says, Tracy, my son, he's like calling you his son, but like, I know he's your grandfather, but he's like, the boy does not get enough credit from the people that truly matter to him. And he's like, no offense, dear, not you. So I think he's talking to your wife, but he's like, from your family. Do you know what I mean? They don't give you the credit that you deserve. And he wants to take this opportunity to acknowledge that. He's extremely proud of the man that you've become. He's pulling his energy back. I hope that was helpful for you.
That was very helpful. Thank you.
Hold on a second. I'm not quite done. Your wife is still there, correct?
Yes, she is, yes.
There's a lady, I feel like, that is attached to her that's coming through.
Yes.
Okay. Can I speak to her for a moment? Sorry.
You certainly can. I'll pass you over. One second.
All right.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
What was your first name, hun?
Suzanne.
Okay. Hi, Suzanne. Okay, so sorry, just as I was wrapping up that reading, this lady steps forward. She's like, what? Do I have to call in again to get my message through? Like, hello, I'm right here.
That's my mom, I'm sure.
It feels like a mother energy, and she's so extremely excited to be able to communicate. And she takes me to the head. So when Spirit takes me to the head, that's my symbol for either somebody who had Alzheimer's, a stroke, or some inability to communicate towards the end. Does that make sense to you?
Like, what you mean, like it being her?
Yes. I mean, like, I'm not sure exactly how she's relating this, but it's the inability to communicate, because she's overemphasizing that she can communicate now. She's coming through like,
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I think so. I don't think sometimes it's hard. You get messages and it's hard to like actually figure out what it all means.
Well, see, this is what
I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just wondering if she means
we weren't. We couldn't always talk at the end when she was getting sicker. I couldn't always be there because I was being pulled in the direction of my son and his wife. Like, they needed me there, like, watching the grandkids, and because she was having our first granddaughter, and at the time that my mom was like being sick, so I couldn't always get there. And that there was a communicate. But we still communicated, but I wasn't there as much as I would have liked to.
Well,
because me and my mom were super, super close. But like, she didn't have anything wrong with her mind. She passed away from her lungs.
Right. So don't give me too much more information. I'm just going to cut you off there for a second. I just like Spirit to bring forward these things. That's okay. So when they take me to the head, and like I said, they acknowledge this inability to communicate, and then she comes through with all of this exaggeration of communication, so to speak. I feel like this is just her way of validating for you that this has not ended just because she's on the other side. This is why she's coming through so strongly about the communication, is to please let you know that just because she doesn't have a body and a physical body and words like she used to, that doesn't mean that she can't hear you and still communicate with you. In fact, she's making me feel like there's a peace about her soul on the other side because she is free to be with you as often as she likes now. It's like that separation is not there anymore. And if that was a physical separation, then that it doesn't feel emotional. It definitely feels like a physical separation. But she's like overemphasizing how excited she is that she is able to communicate with you now. By the way she's talking, she makes me feel like she communicates with you. You know when she's around.
Yeah, she's around a lot.
She wants to validate that you're not crazy about that. And I keep seeing the lights flicker. Is there something about a light that just keeps burning out? Or it's like flickering, or I don't know how to explain that. It's either a light that we put bulb in and it just burns out a week later, or we put another bulb in, it burns out, or it's like flickering all the time.
Well, the TV was doing that. The TV does that. So it all of a sudden turns on, and then it all of a sudden turns off, too.
This is your mom's soul trying to let you know at that exact moment that she's there with you.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
And wanting to take this opportunity to validate that for you and to thank you for continuing to have that relationship with her, even on the other side. She's letting you know, she's taking deep breaths and she's showing me the wiggle. So when I see Spirit take deep breaths, that's my symbol that they can breathe freely and clearly on that side. She does the wiggle, which is my symbol that she has free mobility on that side. And she's like showing me how perfect her skin looks on that side. So there's something about how it's like perfectly clear now, like everything is perfect. I don't know if she was worried about wrinkles or if there was something that she was like didn't like about her skin.
She did not. She put everyone else first and herself last, and she never took the time to like cream herself, or unless when I was there, I tried to do stuff like that, but like she wouldn't take the time. She always put herself last. So I think maybe
it's her way of letting you know.
Really dry. Yeah, and I'm super happy with that.
Her way of letting you know that not only has she found peace on the other side, she's found love for herself as well. And she's like letting you know to please not follow her footsteps so completely. She's like, don't become me at the same time, in the sense that you put everybody above yourself. Because she's like, you can't help anybody else if you can't help yourself. She's like, so please don't take that time. It's almost like as you get older, you're kind of adopting those same philosophies in life where I don't need to take care of myself. Everybody else comes first. And she's wanting you to take a little bit of responsibility for loving yourself first, because when you love yourself and you take that time for yourself, you can give more to the people that you love. And I feel like that's something that she learned on the other side. And hold on. Your mom knew your husband, though?
Oh, yes. She was fond of him.
Okay, because
Son for him.
she just took his hand and shook his hand and said, thank you for being in my daughter's life. Thank you for loving my daughter the way that she deserves to be loved.
Oh.
And she just reminds you that you got a good one, so be a little easy on him when he doesn't pick up his socks.
Oh, my gosh. Yep.
Aw, well, she's pulling her energy back. I hope that was helpful.
Oh, very so much. We both appreciate you, what you do for us, like everybody, and I appreciate just everything. Yep.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. All right,
Have
you
a good
take
one.
care. You too.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello? Oops, hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi there.
Were you calling for the free readings?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I think you're going to be the last person I take today. So, yay, you got through. What's your first name?
Yay.
What's your first name?
My first name is Randy.
Randy. Okay, so give me just a minute here. Well, I can tell you this much. That's not your real first name. There's a much longer name attached to this or something because somebody just stepped forward and said, that's the nickname.
Yes, my real name is actually just Randy. R-A-N-D-I.
Interesting. Hold on.
Yeah, a lot of people call me Brandy by mistake.
Hold on a second. Somebody is like stepping forward talking about like the name like this should be a nickname. Hold on a second. This is an interesting way for Spirit to come forward. I see. She's like, no, we have to call her by the nickname. This person called you by a nickname. I almost feel like I'm with a grandmother or a mother figure of some sort on the other side, who is just like, I feel like she has a different term of endearment for you all the time, but rarely used your name. Would that make sense?
I'm not sure. I know that a lot of, like, my grandfather has nicknames for me that has passed, but my grandmothers are still living.
I see. Okay, so who is the lady that is coming forward? So hold on a second. She feels like that Grandma Gush energy, so it's definitely somebody that you're related to that loves you on the other side, because I feel like all this rush of emotion of like, oh my god, I love you so much, and this protective energy around you.
I wonder if it's perhaps my husband's mother. She passed away from cancer in 2007.
There we go. That would be a mother energy. Hold on a second. She has an interesting personality, I have to say. It's almost like
she does.
It's almost like a dry humor. Like I'm not sure if she's joking or not, and I think she is, but you're not quite sure, if that makes sense.
That definitely makes sense.
Okay, that's exactly how she comes through, because she's bugging you about your name. It's like, what kind of name is that? It's supposed to be like that's a nickname. Like, this is exactly how I'm hearing it.
Oh, well, I know that my parents were going to name me Jamie, and it's a good thing they didn't, because my husband's name is James, so we were going to be Jamie and James, which would have been good, and his mom always made fun of me for that. She always called me Jamie.
There you go. Validating again that she called you by a different name than the one that you have. Okay, so now we know who's stepping forward. Okay, give me just a second here. I'm hearing all of this coughing. Like there's this uncontrollable coughing. Hold on.
Yes, she actually had cancer, and in the end it spread to her lungs, and she had a really, really hard to breathe.
Okay. She was restricting my throat. Hold on a second here. You know what she does? She takes me to the head and she's like, "Oh, Tracy, I'm so glad not to feel foggy anymore." She's making me feel like towards the end, there's so much different medications. It's almost like they give her morphine or something, and she's going, "Whoa, I've never taken this stuff before. This is insane." And
yes, she was actually on morphine patches before she passed away. She was in really rough shape.
So this is her way of validating that on the other side, she has her brain back in the sense that she doesn't feel like she's clouded by that fog so much anymore.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Hold on a sec. I don't know what she means by this, but she's thanking you for the travel. She shows me my symbol for thank you, and then she shows me a different destination. And I don't know if you had to take your husband. Did you guys have to drive somewhere for her funeral?
No, what it was is him and I, we had to, my husband was pressuring for a while to move to Alberta, and I didn't want to give in, and then eventually we did, and then we actually drove out there for 5 days. It took 5 days to get there. And it was something that she always wanted us to do, to reconnect with his family.
There you go. That's why she's thanking you for this. Validating that her soul knows of the sacrifices and the love that you have given to your husband, and how grateful she is to know that he has you in his life.
Right. That's pretty intense.
Huh. She's also bringing forward the dog. Slow down. This is definitely a dog because I'm hearing barking and barking and barking and barking and barking.
That's probably our dog.
Does this dog bark? Like, this dog is still living?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And you've had an issue with the barking lately?
Yes, we actually moved into a new home, and she's not used to the sounds just yet, so she barks quite a bit.
And you know, your husband's mom is kind of like joking about how, I tried to be there and to keep her calm and make her quiet, but then she sees me and just goes off. She's like, I can't help with this one because the dog sees me and just freaks out.
Yeah, she is a bit of a baby.
But I feel like your husband's mother is just so in love with this dog. Like, I don't know if
she's a huge dog lover.
Oh, is that it? I was going to say, I don't know if it's just this dog specifically or if it's all dogs, but she just comes forward with so much love for this animal. Letting you know that her spirit is with this animal when you're not there with this dog. And do you play music for the dog when you're not home?
We leave the TV on different stations throughout the day. If it's my husband that leaves, he leaves it on country music for her. If I leave, we leave it on rock for her.
There you go. So your mom's way, or his mom's way of validating as well that, sorry, there's somebody else trying to come through at the same time, but validating that your dog is not alone and that her soul stays with him when you're not there. It's a female dog?
Yes, it's a female dog.
Okay. So hold on a second. There's a gentleman that steps forward. Slow down.
Okay.
He makes me feel like he was quite older when he passed away, or he was just not at full mobility, so to speak, when he passed away, because he shows me going from like an old man into, ta-da, I'm young again on this side. I have all my mobility back.
My grandfather passed away a few summers ago, and he was in some pretty rough shape. He was really, not malnourished, but he was having a hard time eating and all that kind of thing, and it was a really rough go for a while.
So he's wanting you to know that he is at full health on the other side, and he's absolutely at peace on the other side. Did your grandfather struggle with religion or spirituality of some sort? Or was he just not a big believer?
He was a really big member of his church. Him and my grandmother used to donate a lot of money for like missionaries and all that stuff. And he was like a chair on the church, and he was heavily involved in the town with the church.
I see. Okay, that actually makes sense. Because what he said to me, which is what made me think, what, did you not believe? Like, before you passed away, you didn't believe, or what? Because he stepped forward and he's like, you let them know that it's all real. It's all real over here. Like, God is real. There is another energy that is absolutely real, that we are real. We're watching over you. I feel like he's really wanting to validate for you, not that he was right, but that this actually exists on this side. It's almost like he spent his whole life devoting all of this attention to this, but never really knowing 100% inside. And it's like now that he's on the other side, he's like, oh my God, it's so true. It's so true. I wasn't wrong.
Well, it's funny because I know that when he passed away, I wasn't really big into religion, and I had a hard time when he passed. And then it's almost that I started to believe, and I hoped that he could hear me, but I wasn't sure, and I felt silly about it. And yeah, that's probably what he means.
So that's exactly what he's talking about, validating that he knows that your soul is finding peace with God through trying to reconnect with him, and he feels so proud of that and so grateful and proud of you for that.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
Please let your family know that he is at peace. He's showing me my symbol for somebody wasn't there to say goodbye to him, and this has haunted them. Is this your mom's dad, hun?
No, it's my dad's dad. And actually what had happened was the night that he was at the hospital, my dad left to drive my mom home and my grandmother home, but in the drive home he had passed away. And that has bothered my dad since it happened.
Please let your dad know that his dad did not want him to see him that way, and he picked that moment, that he waited for that moment. I don't think he quite knew the impact that would have on your dad afterwards. That was not his intention. However, what his intention was that he did not want your dad to be stuck with that image in his head for the rest of his life. He wants him to remember him strong and healthy and not weak and with that final breath in his mind's eye. So he's asking for forgiveness to your dad for leaving him in that way, but thank you for giving him the respect of allowing him to choose to cross over in the manner in which he chose. He's like,
what she wanted to do.
He's like, please let my son know that this was nothing he did wrong. This was my wishes, and that he loves his son very, 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 very much.
I'll definitely let him know that. That means a lot.
Aw, they're pulling their energy back. I hope that was helpful for you.
That was very helpful. I thank you very much. It's incredible to be able to do this.
Aw, you're so welcome. You have a great day.
Yes, you too. Thank you, Tracy.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys, that was intense. It's almost 1:30, but my brain is a little bit mush right now, so I gotta leave it at that for now. But thank you to all of you who called in. Again, thank you all so much for your support, because without you, I would not be doing this every day. Or every week, I should say. Oh my goodness, can you imagine if it was every day? Whew, I don't know if I'd live through the hair and makeup on that. Anyway, God bless you all, and I can't wait to see you next week. Take care.